Hi, Emma M here, and I have a tutorial on how to make an Egyptian clay scarab. Doesn't take long to make, just the drying. It's a pain in the butt, but yeah. And there is some hieroglyphs painted on there, and so on and so forth. So I will show you what you need to make this little guy. Okay, so obviously you're going to need some clay. I have got Das air dry clay here, so that's good. A little cup of water, which is needed. You will need some tin foil, sculpting tools. You don't need an awful lot of them, just some, like the basic ones that you'll need. A rolling pin or a pasta machine. With my rolling pin, I've got these little silicone things that go on each end, and you can control the thickness of the clay, so that's good. You'll need one of those or a pasta machine. A little ankh shape there to indent the scarab with the ankh, so it looks really nice and pretty. So it goes in like that, just so you can indent it and get the impression. So you'll need one of those. Tin foil, as I said, and something that has the shape of an egg. So it could be a Kinder egg or anything else, as long as the egg is chopped in halfway. If it's chopped in halfway across the top, that's not good. You need something that's halfway lengthwise. So once you've got all that stuff that you need, then better not lose that. Then you get your tin foil and you put it in here and you mold it to the shape of your egg. Now the bigger the egg, the bigger the scarab. So yeah. So once you've got that, you just push it at the bottom and it will pop out. So that you can use for something else or whatever you want. So yeah, let's get on to the next part. Okay, now what I've done is I've rolled out a sheet of clay, and you'll need your tinfoil amateur. So get your clay and pick it up gently. This will work with polymer clay as well, so it doesn't really matter what kind of clay that you use. It's starting to rip there. Bugger. So just gently pick it up like so. Lovely. And then we're going to cover your little amateur here, and we're going to make sure that it's all nice and smooth. It's a bit like putting some icing on a cake, but yeah. So just make sure it's nice and smooth. Take your time, don't rush. If there is pieces that are a bit bulky, then don't worry about that. We'll take that away. So just make sure it's all nice and smooth and get it all on, and then cut off the excess. You can use a knife or one of your clay tools, whatever you have. Just get rid of all this because we don't need it, and bingo. So there we go. Now, as you can see, that's a bit bumpy there, so another clay tool, this one, I love this one. I use that for smoothing. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to smooth all this out, cover this bottom part with clay as well, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I've smoothed this out as best as I can. This is just like a little undercoat of clay at the moment, just to cover up the tin foil. But what I've also done is rolled out another sheet of clay here, and of course we're going to cover that again with another layer. So you're going to need some water. Just put some water on your little scarab there, which is good. Get a hanky and dry my hands. Then you're going to want to get one of your clay tools, needle point there, and just lightly score your other piece of clay in both directions, like so. Once that is done, put that aside safely, make sure it's safe. Then get some more water, put that on there, dry my hands again, then gently pick up your clay here, making sure it's not going to rip again. Ah, there we go. Lovely. Bring your little scarab over here, and then put it on the best way that you think. Then just gently squish it on there. Try and be as neat as possible this time, because this one is the important one. And again, all I'm doing that you can't really see when I go to this side, all I'm doing is just gently flattening the clay onto our little scarab. Now this bit here, that's going to like fold over, but not to worry. Don't worry about that. You can let that happen. It's okay. I'll turn it around in a moment to let you see what I mean. But just get that in there as gently as possible. You can see it's a wee bit folded here maybe. But yeah. Don't worry about that. That will all be fixed. Now again, get your knife or whatever you want to use and cut away all the bits that are not needed. So just take your time, go around it slowly. Take your time, you don't need to rush. Like so. That wee bit off there. And put this back into the airtight container. We'll use it again shortly. And we don't want it to dry out. Now, this is what I meant when I said that it had overlapped a little bit. There we go. Overlapped just a tad there, but don't worry about that. We can smooth that out. So that's what it looks like on the base. That's what it looks like here. Now, what we have to do is smooth all this out again. So I'm going to go and do that, and I'll meet you back here when you're done. Okay, once you've got it all nicely smoothed out, it should look like a pebble. So if you've got that, then we're good to go on to the next step. It's all nicely smoothed out and everything like that. There you go. And it looks like a pebble. So now we can start decorating this guy. Like in this one that I've done here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of indents of where we're going to put the eyes. So I use this tool here, and I have to pick it up for this part so I can see what I'm doing. So I'd say maybe the eyes would go about here and say here. They look good, so just indent them a little bit more, like so. I don't know, can you see that? Yeah, a little bit. That's the indent for the eyes. So that's good. Now, what we're going to do now is take our needle tool and start making these markings here. So again, just take your time and make the indents with your needle tool to make the marks for the top of his head. And just lightly go over. You don't have to do this too hard. Just take your time and go around. And it's a good idea to go lightly in case you do a mistake, and then you can quickly take that away if you do a mistake. So I don't know if my camera will pick that up. There it goes. Yay, it did. Yay. So that's one indent. Now you need to get your little ankh you need to get this, and then you just want to put that in the center if you can. This is optional, you don't have to do this. Or you can either draw your own one on. It's entirely up to you. You put that in the middle of your scarab, right in between the eyes. Try and get it as straight as you can. Once you're good, push it. Mine came out. That's annoying. It happens. I did get a little bit of an indent before it came out. So just putting the indent back in. Just make sure you get that. There we go. And my clay is drying quickly here, so what I'm doing is just taking my color clay tool here and sorting this up. It does help if you try and keep your clay as wet. Well, keep it damp, you know. So I'm just going over it here with a wet tissue. Wet tissue, just dunk it in some water, drain off the excess a little bit, and so on and so forth. So, and then try and see, my clay was cracking there, so I'm trying to fix that. Or you can leave the cracks in. That's okay, because these things are supposed to look old anyway, so yeah, all adds to the detail. Let me just put that back there. And a wee bit here is cracking, so we don't want that. So that's good. Now what I'm going to do here, since I'm happy with the first mark, which is this one here, what I'm going to do is with this silicone tool here, just damp it a little bit on the tissue and go over and put a little bit of pressure into my indent to mark out the head. Just slowly going around, and that will make that more defined. And go right down to the bottom, like so. That's all you have to do there. Just make that a wee bit more indented. I can't talk. Wow. And that's a first. So there we go, like that. Then we're going to do this one here, and it goes down to the side and then along the bottom and then meets up at the back. So how to do that is just a little bit down from the bottom of your ankh, indent a little bit there, and then slowly indent round as straight as you can, and do the same on the other side very slowly, and try and keep it as straight as you can. So that looks good. Come down a wee bit more there. So yep, I'm happy with that. So that's the other indent, like so. And then I'm going to go all the way down the middle to about here on the back. So you just want to take your time when you do this. To get proper alignment, just go in between the eyes. Again, go lightly in case you do a mistake. Just take your time. You don't have to rush this. And I will stop here, like that. Then I will just draw a line and match up the edges there. So just take my time and go slowly. Very thin indent. Sorry, that was off cam there. Wow. Very slowly. And just in case I make a mistake, I'm going to lightly do this. That looks good. Quite happy with that. Yep. That's one side. And then I will flip it and And do the other side. Just again, lightly does it. Like so. Now that I'm happy with that, I'm going to use my silicone tool and make these indents a little bit more dented. I think you would call that, hey? But yeah. So, like so. Again, this also works with polymer clay. So all you need to do is just choose your colors and follow the same steps. And then when you're done, you can put it in the oven and bake it according to your clay's cooking instructions. And when it comes out the oven, oh, you'll have a nice little scarab, which will be awesome. So I'm just indenting these lines a little bit more, just to make them more prominent. Sorry, I keep going off cam, I apologize. All I'm doing is just indenting those lines more, make them a bit more prominent, like so. So I'll do this one up here a wee bit more. There we go. That's those ones. Now we're going to do these little ones here. Those little ones with the gold on it. Now to do those, all you have to do is, wait a minute, I'm going to make my clay a little bit more damper. So to do these, again, you just go lightly, and I'll pick this up because it's easier. Lightly, and draw on your lines. Take your time. You can do as many or as little as you want. It's up to you. It's your scarab, so you can decorate it however you want. So, yeah. There's that one. And I'll do this one straight. This one straight. And this one straight. So I don't know if my cam will pick that up. It does a little bit. Yeah. That looks good. So that's one side. Then you just do the exact same thing on the other side. And yeah. How many straight did I have? I had 1, 2, 3, 4 straight. So just take your time. You don't have to make these too much indented. And 1, I had 3 straight. 2 and 3. Yay. That one there's a wee bit too thin, so just take your time. There's no rush at all. So that's that and that. Yay. Now for the eyes, you can either roll out little pieces of clay and put them on, like I did for this guy here, or I had an idea for this one. I got this mold off of Amazon, so and I'm going to use the biggest circle ones here for the eyes. So I'm going to go and do that, and while you're deciding what eyes you want to do on yours, and then I'll meet you back when the eyes are on. Well, when we're about to put the eyes on, okay? Okay. Okay, so I have made 2 little gems here out of, here we go, out of the mold that I've just shown you. And I'm going to pop them on for the eyes. And how I'm going to do that is get my needle tool and scratch on the back very lightly. I'm off cam again, I'm sorry. All I'm doing is just scratching on the back of each gem that I made with the mold there, like so. A little bit of water on each, like that. A little bit of water on the eyes, and then I'll attach them. So it's just a case of putting them on. so. I'll cam again. I'm so sorry. I'm not used to this. You just put them on like that. Like so. And then you just attach them properly with your silicone tool. And just take your time and properly attach them. And make sure that they're on and everything like that, and they look good. Don't press down on it too much, because you still want to be able to see the gem part. And this part is optional as well. You can also put those little gems that's already been made in the eyes. It's up to yourself. You just slowly go around each eye and make sure that it's on. So, that one's moving. That's annoying. You stay there so I can get you on. But yeah, just take your time. You don't want to rush these things. Like I always say, you can never rush art. And it's true. Because if you rush art, then mistakes happen. And then you have to do it all over again. And that's annoying. Been there, done that. Many times. Just making sure that these gem eyes are on. Missed a piece here. Some more water on there. Like so. Oops. These look good. Yep, I'm very happy with that. Okay. Let's make sure again. Like so. Oh. Lovely. So that's the eyes on. Like so. And you're done. And if you want to put hieroglyphs on the bottom, then all you have to do is use your silicone tool, make a line all the way around. It doesn't have to be too neat. And then you can Google images of some hieroglyphs and then just etch them on using your silicone tool. Then leave this guy to dry for a couple of days and you can start painting them. These ones I still have to paint. I'm still in the middle of painting them, but there's a silver one, which is really quite cool, and a metallic green. This is another metallic green one, but yeah, it's up to yourself, whatever way you want to decorate. And I hope you have fun. Enjoy.